Stop browsing products on Amazon. Right now, when you search for curved TVs on Amazon, a single model with the logo of a Korean company, which looks affordable and reliable, keeps popping up at the top of the results. This model doesn't have any of the features we're about to discuss. Amazon's algorithm actively promotes an outdated edge-lit LED panel encased in a curved frame and sells it to people who associate the curve with superior quality. A curve does not mean superior quality. The panel underneath is a feature from 2018 being sold at 2026 prices, and those who buy this product learn this the hard way after the return period expires. Today we'll be reviewing 4 curved TVs. You should steer clear of one of them immediately. 2 of them have specific issues you need to know about before buying. And the best TV I'll explain represents the importance of having a curved screen in 2026. Stick around until the end, because the top pick is far superior in quality to the other TVs I'll discuss in this video. If a TV you saw on Amazon turns out to be worse than you expected in your living room, subscribe now. We film informative videos about TVs every week to help you avoid making that mistake. Let's start with the product you should avoid buying: Samsung Q7F Curved QLED. This TV is practically a piece of junk. It was designed years ago, back when curved screens were still a valid trend in the market, and ever since then it has remained at the top of Amazon's search results thanks to the Samsung brand's clout and its curved design, which continues to attract buyers who haven't done their research. Samsung is well aware of this. The algorithm knows it too, but neither of them will tell you what's actually inside the box. What is inside the box is edge-lit LED backlighting, the same architecture we criticize in the cheapest budget televisions on the market. The lights run along the edges of the frame and push illumination inward from the sides. There are no independent dimming zones. There is no ability to make one area of the screen dark while another is bright. The curved glass takes this fundamental limitation and makes it dramatically worse because the curved geometry catches ambient light from every direction and reflects it back toward the viewer in a wide, sweeping arc across the surface. Every lamp in the room, every window, every light source behind or beside you becomes a visible streak across the display. A flat panel with the same backlighting at least reflects light predictably. The curve distributes that reflection across a wider, more distracting area. The black levels on the Q7F are what you would expect from an edge-lit panel with no local dimming. Dark scenes glow with a cloudy grey haze at the edges that no setting, no adjustment, and no calibration can fix. It is a hardware problem. And because it is curved, that grey haze curves with it, creating a visible rim of washed-out brightness that follows the shape of the frame into the picture. Market analysis confirms the Q7F has remained in Amazon's top search results for curved TVs, not because of performance, but because of the curve aesthetic and the Samsung logo. You are paying 2026 prices for a panel that belongs in a 2018 clearance bin. Do not touch it. Subscribe if this channel just saved you from that exact mistake. We do this every week. Now let us talk about what the curved market actually offers in 2026. TV number 2 is the LG OLED Flex 2nd generation 42-inch, and this television does something that no other screen on this list or any other list can do. It physically bends. A motorized mechanism inside the chassis allows you to move the panel from completely flat to a tight 1000R curve at the press of a button on the remote. The 2nd generation also introduces a zero-connect wireless box that eliminates the cable clutter that made the first version impractical for most setups. The OLED panel underneath the mechanism is legitimate flagship hardware. Perfect blacks from self-illuminating pixels, wide viewing angles, HDR performance that competes with the best screens available at any price. FlatpanelsHD HD testing confirms the Flex 2nd generation uses a 4-layer RGB tandem OLED substrate, meaning the panel itself is not a compromise to fund the mechanism. You are getting genuine flagship OLED picture quality in a screen that physically transforms based on your use case. Flat for movies watched from across the room, curved for gaming at close range where the screen wraps your peripheral vision. The hardware earns its price on picture quality alone. The Truva Atta is about honesty. Victor bought the Flex second generation the week it launched. He spent the first evening bending it back and forth, showing everyone who came over, adjusting the curve between every piece of content he watched. He posted about it for 3 days on social media. Then he left it in the flat position and has not touched the bend function since. He mentioned in a forum thread 2 months later that he was slightly anxious about the motor because it had started making a faint sound during operation. The bending mechanism is a mechanical component that will experience wear over time in a way that a standard flat panel does not. If the motor fails outside of warranty, the repair cost will be significant. Who is this for? The dedicated desktop gamer or simulator enthusiast who genuinely switches between flat and curved for different use cases and values that flexibility. Who should pass? Anyone who will bend it once for the novelty and never again. You are paying a substantial premium for the mechanism. If you do not use it, you are buying an expensive OLED at an even more expensive price. TV number 3 is the LG C6 OLED curved variant, and this is the television for the person who has loved curved screens since they first appeared on the market and refuses to let the format go. The C6's OLED panel delivers everything the format has always promised. Perfect black levels because the pixels that are supposed to be off are completely off. Wide viewing angles that keep the picture accurate even when you are not sitting perfectly centered. Color accuracy that comes out of the box without requiring professional calibration. In a pitch-black room, the curve adds a genuinely noticeable sense of immersion to wide format content. The edges of the screen pull slightly into your peripheral vision in a way that a flat panel does not, and when the content is cinematic and the room is dark, it works exactly the way curved television advocates always said it would. The Truva Atu is the same physics problem the Samsung Q7F has, but handled with significantly better underlying hardware. The curved glass surface is a glare magnet. A viewer described buying the C6 curved specifically for darkroom cinema and reporting a perfect first viewing experience. Then their partner turned on a reading lamp during the second session. A curved streak of reflected light appeared across the left side of the screen and followed the arc of the panel all the way to the right edge. The curve that creates immersion in total darkness creates a sweeping glare problem the moment any ambient light enters the room. There is no technical fix. The geometry of the curve catches light and bends it toward the viewer. If you watch in a genuinely dark room every time, the C6 curved is a legitimate choice. If your viewing environment has any ambient lighting at all, the flat C6 is the better purchase. Who is this for? The committed darkroom cinephile who controls their viewing environment completely. Who should pass? Anyone who cannot guarantee total darkness for every viewing session. The flat C6 delivers identical OLED picture quality without the glare penalty. And now, the one legitimate reason to own a curved screen in 2026, the Samsung Odyssey Arc second generation. This is not a living room television. Let us establish that immediately. This is a 55-inch cockpit. It is designed for a single person sitting approximately 1 meter from the screen in a gaming or simulator setup. And within that specific geometry, it delivers an experience that no flat display and no smaller screen can replicate. When you sit directly in front of the Arc at the recommended distance, the 1000R curve wraps the screen into your peripheral vision on both sides simultaneously. The edges of the display are no longer at the edges of your attention. They are inside your awareness. A racing simulation feels like sitting in a car. A flight simulator fills your field of view the way a cockpit window does. A strategy game spreads across your sightline in a way that makes a flat monitor feel like looking through a letterbox by comparison. The contrast from over 1,000 independent dimming zones delivers the depth and darkness that makes the environments feel dimensional rather than flat. Dark space in a space combat game is actually dark. The cockpit lighting in a racing sim casts actual shadow. The difference between this and a flat gaming monitor at the same price is not incremental. It is categorical. This is the only format in which a curved screen does something that a flat screen cannot. And the second generation finally adds the connectivity and switching features that make it practical for a proper desktop setup. DisplayNinja testing confirms the Arc second generation's dimming zone count and gaming performance credentials. IGN's review validates the immersive cockpit experience for simulation content specifically. The Truva Atu is everything outside that cockpit geometry. Sit further back and the curve loses its purpose. Try to use it as a regular computer monitor for text-heavy work, and the pixel density at this screen size makes reading uncomfortable over extended sessions. The built-in audio has no meaningful bass, so any content with cinematic sound design requires external speakers. And if anyone else wants to watch something on it from a normal living room distance, the experience is noticeably worse than a comparably priced flat panel. This screen was engineered for one specific use case. If that use case is yours, nothing else on this list compares. If it is not, every dollar you spend on the curve is a dollar not spent on picture quality. Subscribe and stay close, because next week we are settling the panel technology war once and for all. LED against QLED against OLED against mini LED. The marketing from every manufacturer in all four camps has been deliberately designed to confuse you, and the real winner is not the one with the loudest advertising budget. We have the data. We will see you there.